Hey, how do ya? So, I'm gonna hit you with a little kiss kiss. Keep it sort of simple. I did a matinee today in the earlier part of the day and just got home from my cast party, and it's like 10 o'clock. So I would officially say this is about the hardest partying I've done in, I don't know, like a while. A real while. Hair's pretty cool. That emerged from beneath the wig hair has gotten kind of cool throughout this play, even though this does take me about an hour, hour and a half to get all the braids in there. But I'm still sticking with the dressing like Al from Quantum Leap theme. Just really feeling like it's my fashion wheelhouse, I must say. Just feels really right to bust out my cool ties and my cool owl fits. I'm just going to start calling them owl outfits because they're kind of alternative and they're definitely owl and they are fits. So I'm going to admit that I wrote this today in a bit of a angry headspace. I was feeling angry about some things. Mostly as a person, I think I just feel anger when I can't control things or roll them toward the goodness that I really do inherently want, and it just seems stuck in a place. And so I listen to some Atmosphere because that always takes me, it embraces whatever I'm feeling and tells it it's okay to feel what you're feeling. That I want to yell kind of thing. And our front door broke, and it was just kind of a catalyst. Like, things have just been kind of frustrating me. And so I guess my preface for this one is just like, it's not all or nothing. You can feel a thing and go, oh, I'm feeling this really hot. Like, that's a hot potato feeling. And then kind of pass the hot potato on, and maybe it's not how you feel in the next moment. Because I did some, like, laughing and some cavorting. Cavorting? Can I say that in a party context? Or is that only if you're, like, Rocky and Bullwinkle criminal, you cavort? Anyway, I did some merriment and some laughter as well. So, it swelled into another emotion. And then I befell yet another one. I mean, things just come over you. And so this was just that hot potato where the anger was kind of hot in my hand, and I was feeling kind of like panicky, like I can't control things and I don't know what to do to make human money, so to speak. And so that anger was just peeking its little head out, and that's where this poem came from. But that does not mean that these are the only feelings I have, or that it is a generalization of all of my soul's feelings. It just was a moment when I kind of was like on my Atmosphere thing, and I was feeling that sort of pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa. I want to sort of pa-pa-pa-pa-pa. And that's okay. We can do that. That's the journey of poetry. But I'm quite tired, and golly gee, I did some socializing this evening. It was quite nice. It's been a while since that occurred for me. So I'm going to get some sleep here soon, but I will give you this poem that I wrote mostly in the dressing room when I was there hours before everyone, because I do that to get ready and just kind of like needed to get out the thing I was feeling. So I called it This Morning After the Door Broke. When the latch won't latch, when the catch won't catch, when you want to have some fun but you don't have any scratch. Every interaction feels like I'm out of my weight class in a wrestling match. It's like you got the bad batch of ingredients, like you can't match their deadlines with any expedience, and every single atom of your body is tense, and you're either on the downswing or the defense, and not one single solitary second is making any sense, and you're desperately seeking evidence that the world's not broken. There's a hard edge or a machine-fed feeling behind every word spoken. Every moment is poking holes in all that I hold dear, and I wish I was, but I fear I'm not even joking. Liars and louses are stoking the fires for their basest desire to watch something burn. I look around and feel a profound fear that humans may never learn. They'd rather push and yell than wait their turn. Just right that second, someone cuts me aggressively at a four-way stop and my anger burns. A path forward to progress is more than difficult to discern. So many faces I pass look like they're looking for someone to blame or someone to spurn. I yearn for a day when I can feel more connected. It's like every space I walk in, there's animosity detected. I come bearing good vibrations, but even I cannot deflect it. Whatever cosmic version of a choose your own adventure this is, I know I did not select it. Things feel so downright hectic that I really don't know if I'm coming or going. The global consumption and ramifications show no sign of slowing. We've had a fucking millennia to get this right, and it seems that we are not growing. We're putting too much weight on this balance beam and it's bowing. I have no way of knowing if the powers that be will ever even all this out. The itsy bitsy spider tried so very hard and found nothing but a clogged spout. We could be casting beautiful magic spells, and instead it feels everybody's casting shadows of doubt. If you need me, I'll be in the corner wearing a thoroughly defeated pout. I don't know what all this fist forming is about, but it seems like it's not related to love. I don't need unicorns and sparkles all the time and people releasing doves, but it would be nice if all this cold as ice cruelty and division is something we could lift ourselves above. I see people so desperate for one hand to lift them up, and instead they get another shove. Whereof the root of this resolute, immovable rigidity stems from, I cannot comprehend. Our tendency to shut one another out is a very disturbing trend. The level of distraction at our fingertips is something I'm ill-equipped to comprehend. When I see humans fully engaged in connection, it's something I have to commend. We lend our precious life force to a strange plotted course of a quickly approaching future. Seems like one of those that should just keep going. I like the flow that it had, like it was really working with the flow, but I just got tired. I'm just quite tired from the day, really. So I feel like this one could continue on and have a continuance. But what's interesting is I was writing part of it in voice to text. I always drive safely, but I push my record button so that if I'm just like spit and flow from the top of my head, my little phone robot can capture it. And I was writing that liars and louses are stoking the fires of their basest desire to watch something burn. Oh, and I said, people not waiting their turn. Well, what did I say? I look around and feel a profound fear that humans may never learn. Right, they'd rather push and yell than wait their turn. So I said that line, they'd rather push and yell than wait their turn. And someone aggressively, like I was so there first, and they just plowed past me at the four-way stop, like just approached it and went. Like, no, I don't care how long you've been there. Just as I said, they'd rather push and yell than wait their turn. So that's where, just right that second, someone cuts me off aggressively at a four-way stop and my anger burns. So that part was written there. Then the chunk of it was written backstage, as I was the only one there, listening to my aggressive hip hop. And then the last part I just watched, I just finished the end while watching this very intense, very troubling, very rattles your nerves about all existing realities. I was watching a special on MSNBC called In the Dark of the Valley. Pretty soul crushing, but you should watch it because we should probably be informed about what the fuck is going on. And it was just weird because I wrote the line, our tendency to shut one another out is a very disturbing trend. The level of distraction at our fingertips is something I'm ill-equipped to comprehend. And the second I got that line out, I'm watching this show, which is in part about the Santa Susana nuclear radiation exposure and all these children and people getting cancer and horrible things happening and them sweeping it under the rug and being like, just litigate that and put a bunch of red tape around it and we'll never change it and we'll just talk in circles and shut you down and kill your children. Cool, great, perfect, awesome accomplishment, humanity. So I was watching that and I only caught the last kind of half of it. It was extremely intense and jarring. But it was just very odd that I wrote that line, the level of distraction at our fingertips is something I'm ill-equipped to comprehend. And then the second I said it, this very intelligent man whose name I didn't catch in the special said, we are in a world of distraction and self-centeredness, as I wrote about distraction. And again, he is saying a very pointed comment about the general kind of current flow of our society. That doesn't mean that is all people at all times and everyone just completely sucks. So that's what I'm saying about my anger. It's not directed at all beings all the time, and that's how I see it, and that's just the way it is. But, it is kind of like it's a feeling that hits you a lot, and it hurts, and it's out there in the world of the peoples right now. But yeah, we are in a world of distraction and self-centeredness. And he was just commenting, like, how can these horrible things be allowed to go on and 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 on, and not even the Kardashians can stop it? Not even that kind of star power can stop it. Well, it's because of distraction and self-centeredness, point blank. And yeah, that is not a blanket to say that that is all people and that is all encompassing and that's all we are, but it's fucking with us. Those things are fucking with us. So, anyway, I did really like the flow of that one. Sometimes, it works this way with sadness, too. You hate sadness, and it sucks, and you're just like, could you please go away? But sometimes it makes you say and write things that are really profound, and you're like, where did that come from within me? Oh, it's the deep, brutalizing sadness I'm feeling. So I feel like anger can kind of be that way with flow sometimes. Like sometimes my flow just really works when I'm really mad. So, yeah, I'm glad I can acknowledge it and try to write about it rather than stifling it, because holy shit, that don't do no good. That don't go nowhere but to a festering, bubbling brew that ain't no good for you. So hey, cool, I did another one. Here we are, just day 300 something, and charging forward into the 300s. My poetry bros and hoes. No, you guys aren't that. It just rhymed. Sometimes I just gotta flip the flip of the rhyme and let it wind out of my mind through my mouth vessel. Okay. Well, if I was Romeo, I'd climb a trestle and I would say, Juliet, parting is such sweet sorrow. Or is that Juliet who says that? I should know my Romeo and Juliet better. But either way, whichever one I am in the scenario, parting is such sweet sorrow. But I shall return again tomorrow with more of the poems that you seek and that you'll have grown from. At least I hope. I hope some of you anyway have found some growth or some jokes or some wild yolks. Is a yolk? See, I'm kind of a bumpkin, so I shouldn't get my bumpkin vocab mixed up, but a yoke is when you're like telling a tale, right? Yeah, telling a yoke. I think that's it. I think that's the vocab. So, hey, I'm gonna go grab some Z's, my peeps. I'm gonna go grab some Z's. I've earned them. I need them. Check this outfit, though. Yeah, cat socks. Can't beat them. So, there it is. There we were. Here we are. We've come pretty far together. Let's keep going.